Well, welcome to the 2009 ICHE convention. We have some interesting guests today at our convention. We have joining us today Mr. James Lawson, a good friend of John Knox, and Mary, Queen of Scots. I'd like to ask Mr. Lawson, what is your fondest memory of John Knox?
Oh, John Knox was an amazing man, and probably my fondest memory, I wasn't actually there when it occurred, but there was a time in John Knox's life when he was in his backyard praying. After he'd come back from exile from Geneva, he was in his backyard praying, and his sons came in and heard him imploring before the Father, saying, "Give me Scotland, lest I die." And I think that statement alone just encapsulates the spirit and the zeal of John Knox.
John Knox was a very passionate man, although he did have many enemies. Your ladyship, you look wonderful today.
Thank you.
But you are not a good friend of John Knox.
No,
Maybe you can tell me about that.
He was a rabble-rouser, pretty much, and he was constantly trying to turn the people against me, which rather irritated me. And he enjoyed getting in heated debates, also trying to convert me to Protestantism, which I'm a very adamant Catholic, so that did not go over well.
Now, in all candor, he was not trying to turn the people against the good Madam, the good Queen. What he was trying to do is turn the people to God, and that included the Queen. He saw the distinction of the state and the church as being both ordained of God, interworking with one another, but separate jurisdictions. And he certainly was attempting to help the good Queen see the error of her theological ways. And yet, he was still a loyal citizen of the crown.
And your ladyship ended up in prison for many years. What were your thoughts during that time?
I wasn't really thinking of John Knox at the time, but he was certainly there in the back of my mind at times.
And you can tell us about the end of your imprisonment?
I was rather frightened, I guess. I didn't think that Elizabeth I would actually execute me, but she did. So.
And you were beheaded, if I remember the history correctly.
And buried in Westminster Abbey in London.
All in one piece, may I ask?
My head was in the coffin as well.
Well, that is good to know. And I understand that John Knox was not so fortunate in his burial. He was.
Well, he certainly wasn't as fortunate in his burial, but in God's providence, he did live a very long and fruitful life. He had a wonderful wife. Well, he was actually married twice. The Lord blessed him with 5 wonderful children. But indeed, he was buried in honor in St. Giles Cathedral. But today, his grave is underneath the parking lot in space number 23.